Hi everyone, and thank you for joining me. This is kind of a surprise potting. I've been looking at this orchid for a long time. It's the one with the baby Keiki, and I've been thinking about taking it off and want to put it with the mother when I take it off, and I don't feel there's just room in here. There's too many. I want to bury these roots but leave these out, and I decided I should have put it in a bigger pot, and now would probably be a good time before it's in spike to do that, and I don't want to damage it too much. I think there's a little spike coming on the Keiki. I'm not taking it off today, but I'm getting it in a position that I can. So I've pre-soaked my bark, and it's ready. Hopefully I have enough. And I picked this pot. This is a very old pot we picked up at the thrift store. And I just put some paint on the outside quite a time ago, but it's got lots of holes, which I like, and it's nice. So I think we're going to go with this one. And so let's see how this looks in here, because I have not been happy with this from the beginning. So I think what I'll do is just take it, and I didn't water it. It was watering day today, and I didn't water it purposely. I did want it dry, so everything might fall out better. Okay, we get to see how I've been doing also. Now, I do not see any. There's a rock stuck to a root, and I'm just going to leave it. I don't see any. Very good, Karen. I'm going to leave some of the bark because it is my bark and it's fine. So I think it'll have a lot more room in here, and it's a little deeper. I don't see anything I have to cut off. Yay, look at that. I'll come and give you a close-up because like I say, it was watering day today, so it's dry. And this is a good example of how dry it gets. Some of the bark feels a slight bit dampness, but basically it's dry. So I'll come and show you. And this is just watering once a week right now. Plus it's survived the summer. So I don't see any rot. And it's just been in the bark. So what I'm going to do is just put it back in the same bark, a few pieces of the old bark, and my new bark that's soaking. So I have a few rocks in the bottom also, but like I say, it's going to get a few pieces of the bark that was in there, and it is quite dry because it was watering day to day. And soon I hope to show you a video of what I do on watering day, and I keep track. I keep track on my calendar, so that, because it's so easy, sometimes you can sort of say, well, I'm going to water Sundays, but that doesn't always work out because some days are better than others. So I like to keep track of, oh yeah, this is going to be better. So I want to get that way down in there. You know, it has so many healthy roots. I probably put too many in the bottom here. Let's, here. And I'm just going to shake I like this pot for it because it has lots of holes for the aerial roots. I want to make sure that the aerial roots are up and the other ones are in, because I had a lot of, wow, you know, how big an orchid pot can you go? And I don't want to cut. I'm not into cutting roots. I'd rather just leave that, and then I'm going to just like stuff these in the holes. Shake it in. Wow. What I want is a little spot to lay the Keiki on when this is what I'm hoping to lay the. I was not happy with this pot, I'll tell you. It dries out faster. In fact, I had been actually giving a little extra water because I could see it was drying out. Dries out faster. These heavier pots, they hold the moisture a lot longer. And almost all of mine are my homemade pots or other pots. And for me, when you're just using bark, there's not anything there that's really holding a lot of moisture but your bark. So then the pot also helps to hold some moisture. So you have to, you know, in this surroundings, this is good. You can tell, you know, it's happy. There's certainly not soggy. So this has been, I repotted that in this pot in May. The video is up. If you went back, it was May that I put it in this. But this was turning out to be a little too, maybe not deep enough as this. Difference is quite a lot. So I'm already feeling better about this. So you just have to wiggle it in, and then I'll give it a good water, and it's good until the next week I water. And I bet it's because, you know, I'm not expecting any shock to happen to it because it's in bark going to bark. It's that big jump from the initial in moss and then going to bark, because these roots are used to this. So I kept staring at it because they're right here in the kitchen. I don't feel good about all those dry roots sitting on the top. I keep missing them and miss them. And then if I take the baby off, I wanted to lay her, because these are aerial roots. And I won't bury them when I take her off. So I wanted to have a little spot where I can lay her there until she starts to root. And the mother will help. She wants to be with her mummy. That's how I feel. You know, there's lots of ideas out there. So there we are. This is the pot it's going to be in. And it's also interesting if you feel there might be something not quite right with one of your plants and you just repotted it 5, 6, 7 months ago. This is a good way to find out how you are doing with your watering, because when you look at your pot, you're going to put it back in the same media probably that you had it in, unless you pull it up and you say, oh wow, it's way too moist in there, or things are going rotten. Well, then you know you water less. And maybe if it's been too moist, well then go to straight bark or use something that's drier and take away some of the stuff that's very moist. So it's a kind of balancing act till you get what works for you. I found this works good for me, so that's why I've settled with this. So anyway, thanks for joining me. It was a quick thing. Now I'll feel better about this, and I'm sure they won't even notice it happen. It'll be happier. Okay.